It simply makes me cringe at the unnecessary and deliberate decision. Rage-inducing unpopular opinions from strangers of the internet. Adults who can't cook are dumb, no excuses. I can't actually understand how someone who is an adult could be this incompetent. You don't have to be able to make a 3-course meal, but knowing the basics is the bare minimum. Even if nobody in the world ever taught you, all cooking is following a step-by-step tutorial. You need literal basic motor skills and listening skills. If you're an adult who can't cook, you're dumb. Doctor Who is terrible. I've tried watching it with multiple doctors in the role, but the show is a massive cringe fest of cheese. It feels like a show written for children. I will never understand this show's popularity. I get that the show has a low budget, but that's no excuse for poorly written dialogue and character development. I realize it was initially created for children, but from my understanding, it has changed over the years due to the amount of adults who like it and is now geared towards an older demographic as well. White chocolate is better than dark chocolate. I mean, come on, it tastes better and doesn't make you uncomfortable when you try to eat it, due to its strength in cocoa. White chocolate is comforting, delicious, and you can add anything to it, yet it will still taste so good. Everybody I told that opinion keeps arguing about dark chocolate being better, so I believe it's in the right place. Real estate is a job that offers no real value to anyone. I know some people find their real estate agents to be helpful, but I've always thought it's an absolutely pointless job that could be eliminated. When I bought my house, I found what I wanted, sent it to my agent, and they basically just opened the door for me. I then spent more time with the mortgage broker. The value is in the broker, not the agent. Can't we just eliminate this overpaid role from society? Americans are not lazy. On the contrary, they are too busy at their jobs. From microwave dinners to drive-through banking, it is easy to point at those and assume that Americans are the laziest people in the world. I beg to differ. I think those lazy ways of life are pretty much a byproduct of a generally overworked population, long commute times, and unwalkable cities. When you look at countries where people walk a lot or cook healthy, thoughtful meals on a daily basis, they're almost always countries with relatively laid-back work cultures. I love it when people bring babies to work. I work from home now, but back in the office days, I loved it when co-workers brought their babies or toddlers to the office. It was always a nice break from my very serious job. I stopped working for a while to see the baby, entertain them, or, if I was super lucky, hold them. So yeah, I love it when babies and toddlers visit offices. As a girl who doesn't drink a lot but gets bought drinks from men when I go out, I wish it was acceptable for men to send over a plate of wings instead. I think the whole culture around getting drunk is kind of dumb, so I don't drink when I go out. It's a little sloppy and I'm not looking to party like that. I'll stop at maybe 2 to 3 drinks and I'm good. I also don't like putting alcohol in my body because of the guilt. However, socially, every outing involves drinking. Pool? Drink. Rooftop? Drink. Picnic? Champagne. Bar? Of course drink. Like, I also get slightly hungry after 11 p.m. Men should hit on women by sending them over something from the appetizer menu or a dessert plate instead. We're out all night, liquid alcohol isn't going to keep me standing. We need carbs. Thanks. I also want to hilariously point out that for those messaging me as a gold digger for wanting an alternative to alcohol, honey, you have no gold. No one actually hates mayonnaise. I despise people who claim to hate mayonnaise. Sure, eating it out of the jar with a spoon would be pretty gross, but people who don't like mayo are not giving it enough credit as a versatile ingredient. Gee, this sandwich is great. Wanna know why it's not dry? Mayo. All those delicious fast food secret sauces, In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, etc. Pretty much all some variation of ketchup and mayo. Oh, you enjoy a good party dip? Spinach and artichoke, perhaps? Onion dip? The main ingredient in all those? Mayo. Chicken salad. Deviled eggs. Coleslaw. Macaroni salad. Tuna. The list goes on. Open your palates and minds, people. It is gross and inconsiderate to have your dog at cafes. Let me start by saying I like dogs, but why is it so normalized to take your dog with you to eat? It's so disgusting. Every time I'm at a cafe there are plenty of annoying, loud, smelly, and hairy dogs at my feet while I'm trying to eat. Like, no, I don't want dog hair in my food every time I want to eat. I hate all the features they put on new cars. Car manufacturers and designers seem like they're just trying to cram as many electronic features in new cars as possible, for absolutely no benefit in an attempt to make their cars look and feel all futuristic. Here's my problems with them. Hand brakes. There used to be a handle you'd pull, super practical and easy to grab and pull/pump in case of emergency like a brake failure or bad road conditions like black ice. Now it's just a button. No way am I finding it in time in an emergency. Sliding doors on vans. You could just use the handle and pull the whole door completely open in half a second. Now I use the handle, try to pull the door open but it's on its own tiny engine that slowly draws the door to the open position over 3 full seconds. Useless. Windows. They used to be a little rolling handle. If it broke you could change the mechanism for like $50. Now if your tiny electronic window stops rolling down they gotta dismantle the whole door and replace the electronics for 5 to 6 times the price. Trunks with no handles. Why? It's a door. Why do I have to go to my other door to find a button for the door I'm trying to get into? Trunks, you can't just push them down anymore. The SUVs are really bad for that one. You try to close the damn trunk and you're forcing against whatever piece of poop motor they have in there to close it for you with a button. And no, it's not about customers' height because most often the damn button is exactly where you'd grab the trunk door to close it. Just another useless feature. The seats. Pull the side handle to adjust seat back. Pull on the side handle to adjust seat distance. Moves almost instantly and follows your own movements. Instinctive and easy. Now it's again, 3 to 4 piece of poop plastic buttons that I have to wait for to do their job at a snail's pace and, just like Windows, they will eventually break, which I've never seen on the seat adjustments on older cars that weren't in accidents, and cost you 5 to 6 times the price to fix. Cameras on 37 angles. Use your eyes. $5,000 price hike at least to stick cameras everywhere just because people can't be bothered to take a 2-second look around before backing up into their own kid. And those cameras will never last as long as the car anyway. I have legit seen cameras turn on when you put your blinkers on and it showed exactly what the side mirror was showing. Self-adjusting seat. The goddamn thing moves back when you turn off the engine, I imagine to let fat Americans out of the car, and moves back to position when you turn it on. Why? Why? If your seat is properly adjusted once, you should be able to get in and out of it and never touch the thing again. Etc. 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 A lot of it seems A. Fragile. B. More expensive for no added benefit. C. Actually less functional, like the button emergency brake. D. A waste of time. E. Teaches people to rely on their car more than their driving skills, especially the cameras with the beeping noise when you're about to hit something because you're too much of an idiot to tell the difference between a safe distance and right on your bumper. Summer is the worst season and every single second of it is torture. What's so fun about it being 113 degrees Fahrenheit, being cooked when entering a car, wasps annoying the hell out of you and constantly sweating? Going to the beach in 104 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit isn't fun. Plus, swimming in cold weather is infinitely better. I live in the Middle East, which is a pretty hot region and most of my friends still say summer is better, which is why I think it's an unpopular opinion. They live in cities where it's only 86 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why I also think they only like summer because 95 degrees Fahrenheit isn't that hot. Also, I've heard about people getting sadder in winter, but when I see the sky being grey, I couldn't be happier. Also, wearing shorts when it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit and raining feels better. What made me hate summer this year even more was that I finally started working out and saw progress, but then it became too hot to even go outside and I do want to continue. So I'll have to wait until the temperature drops. Pringles are not good chips. I see everyone praising these chips when they are absolutely disgusting. They taste artificial, even for chips, and I'm not sure how that's possible. The packaging also sucks, making you take the can or reach your greasy fingers in for the last chip. Why even a can? They still get broken and make a mess everywhere. It's not good design. Then there's the flavors. All flavors of Pringles suck more than the original. You've got some normal flavors like sour cream and onion, but then you also got freaking pizza? And both taste horrible. Even the regular flavor isn't good. I want a nice salty chip with regular flavor, not this bland potato that tastes horrific. The only good thing they had was the mascot, but they managed to screw that up too, making him devoid of life and solace. They turned him from a fun character to a character devoid of all life. I don't understand how people constantly enjoy these chips. I'd rather be eating Lay's than these sad excuses for chips. I don't think living together before marriage is necessary. I am tired of people insisting that you need to live together before you get married to truly know the person you're considering marrying. I don't think it's necessary. I can get to know my partner just fine while living in separate households. We spend ample amounts of time together and he has already shown me that he doesn't have any red flags. He has some mildly annoying habits, but it's nothing alarming and certainly nothing that I can't get used to. That's really all I need to know. While I get that people want to make absolutely sure that the person they're with is the right one, I think you can still accomplish that without living together before you get married. As long as you function well together in most situations, you can agree on most things, and you aren't constantly arguing, then you will probably be fine. I feel absolutely no need to live with my partner before we get married because I am that confident that it will be just fine. When you call things you dislike stupid, you sound like a kid. I've been seeing a lot of unpopular opinions, or any opinions in general, that are just called stupid in a context where it makes no sense. Call me petty, but how about you use a word that actually highlights which trait of said thing makes you dislike it? I only hear children call everything they don't like stupid. Put some effort into it. Now go leave your comments saying this is stupid below. Wedding dresses are ugly and they all look the same. I just don't understand why this is what girls dream about. Or why at every wedding people mutter that dress is gorgeous while sobbing. Maybe I'm just a male bimbo, but I feel like no guy is like, oh man, can't wait to see her in that white nightgown looking thing, going to be sexy. As a man, I feel gross and unnecessary when I am shirtless in public. As the title suggests, I just feel uncomfortable being shirtless in public. It just feels gross, cringy, and uncomfortable. I sort of cringe when I see other guys shirtless too. Unless you're at the pool, just wear a shirt. It isn't that hard. You look nicer anyway wearing one. In my opinion, seeing a man's torso doesn't make me go, dang. Nice abs. It simply makes me cringe at the unnecessary and deliberate decision to not wear a shirt. Please. Just act decently for once and wear a t-shirt, or a tank top, or something. I think 30 frames per second is fine. 60 FPS and above are obviously better, but if you don't have the option, don't worry. I play both console games and PC games and I don't see less than 60 FPS as a problem. The games still play and look amazing, but you'd think that anything less than 60 FPS was like playing a completely distorted and buggy mess from how people talk about it. I'm currently playing Horizon Forbidden West right now and current gen games have the option to favor frame rate or favor resolution. I choose resolution because it makes the game look absolutely stunning. It's honestly one of the most beautiful games ever made, and sacrificing some frames to look at it as it should be seen, while enjoying the same game at 60 FPS, works for me. Quiet or introverted people are usually the most fun to talk to. When most people hear the term quiet person, they usually think about someone who is shy, boring, or even ignorant. But I don't think that is true at all. From my experience, every introverted person I've talked to was an interesting individual with whom you could have a deep and meaningful conversation. You can actually be more honest when talking to them, and they're better friends than most people who would talk bad about you behind your back. I feel like introverts are really underrated. Just because they are quiet doesn't mean you can't talk with them or do fun stuff with them. Video game addiction is a more common issue than people realize or are willing to admit. I say this as a lifelong gamer, There are several games that I regularly play that have communities full of people who do nothing but complain about the game. The company is shady, they don't know how to balance, the servers suck, the company is greedy, this game used to be good, the community is toxic, etc. If you find yourself regularly complaining about your favorite game, you have an addiction. If you spend money on cosmetic, non-gameplay changing items, or even gameplay changing items, in a game you are almost always complaining about, you have a problem. You need help. There is no good reason anyone should submit themselves to constant frustration and anger while doing what should be considered a leisure activity. The same goes for if you find yourself constantly raging at teammates or AFKing matches in competitive games. It doesn't matter if your teammates are trash, or trolling. If you keep going despite this apparently being a constant issue, you're the one with the problem. If the suggestions of uninstall the game, or just play something else sound ridiculous to you, you have a problem. Please get help. Whether it be an addiction subreddit, or finding another hobby, or just talking to someone IRL about your issues, please just get help. It is not a good thing to find yourself constantly angry at a piece of entertainment. Police officers should need a license, like doctors or lawyers, to be a police officer in their state. And that license can be revoked, denying them access to becoming an officer within that state. I think we should have this due to the amount of officers that resign or get fired from their job, just to land a job in the next town over where they may continue to do the same things they did in the previous town, pretty much getting a do-over with no real consequences. But if they had a license that could be revoked, it would prevent them from working at another police station and prevent them from easily transferring to another state after resigning. I'll eat any animal if it tastes good. I think every organic being on this planet is on the same level. That's why I would eat anything. From chicken to dog. From cow to rhino. Excluding animals that don't taste well and anything from the ape or monkey family. Movie theaters deserve to go out of business. In a modern society where 4K TVs are semi-affordable and you can purchase a movie for less than the price of 2 tickets, movie theaters have no place. Movies are not a social event, and if you want them to be social, nobody wants to hear you talk over something they paid money for. Ever since 2013 or so, large flat screens have become increasingly more affordable and most everyone has at least one in their home. A good and cheap surround sound system is comparable to theater sound to me. Plus, at home you have cheap popcorn, cheap drinks, and the ability to pause whenever you like. I don't see movie theaters as romantic, or even as a good date. There is no verbal interaction while watching a movie, at least none that I would welcome. So why do these theaters exist? In a time where land is growing ever more precious, the ginormous warehouses and lots they sit on hoard space for affordable housing complexes and actual interactive venues. All while being a complete rip-off to their patrons. My local theater recently increased a medium bag of popcorn to $12 and added a charge for extra butter, as well as $1.50 for a small package of seasoning. I'm saying no to that. Thanks for watching till the end. What did you think of these opinions? Did you agree or disagree with any of them? Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe for more society-defying content.